Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm going to read you guys the introduction to Revealing America's Dark-Skinned Past. Let me open up the book. It is quite a good read, and it's very informational in regards to who we are, where we come from, and who we're not. Introduction. Brown-skinned people from very light to dark brown have existed in the Americas for many thousands of years. However, history wants us to believe that the existence of black people in the Western Hemisphere began with the African slave trade, which is not true. It is from this falsehood that many people in the United States have been manipulated into thinking that all slaves come from Africa, and the black populations in the United States are the descendants of those Africans. While many blacks have had some African genetics in their bloodline, that should not be the determining factor to define all blacks in the United States as African American. Many blacks have European genetics in their bloodline, but they are not defined as European Americans. Many African Americans have been told by their ancestors that they have Indian blood. However, over time, this information has been dismissed by most, even though this oral history continues to get passed down through the generations. Traditionally, Africans and Native Americans passed history down orally through tribal elders, Native or the tribal griot African, that the Indians, like the Africans in America, relied upon oral media for the transmission of their history from one memorial generation to the next, meant that the dissolution of their social structure would destroy their history and therefore complete the erasure of their existence. That dissolution of disbanding of the social structure, or in other words, terminating the glue which held those societies together, was the key that was needed to destroy the passing down of family history, and consequently destroy the moral being of the people. When the people are broken morally, it is easy at that point to mold and shape their minds to be what you want them to be and to erase the things you want them to forget. Isn't that interesting? The breaking of a people morally. Who's been broke morally? We have. The annihilation of the family structures practiced on the brown-skinned people in what became the United States, namely the indigenous Americans and the Africans, became a more imperative operation within the indigenous communities. That's saying a lot. The conquering and colonizing Europeans needed to remove everything that would not benefit their existence in the newly occupied territories. And the one thing that stood the most in their way was the indigenous Americans. While many indigenous cultures were decimated through disease, warfare, and slavery, what wasn't put into the equation was the resiliency of the dark-skinned people that the Europeans encountered upon their arrival here in the Americas. The true history of the indigenous people of the United States, and in particular the entire eastern and southeastern United States, has been banished into non-existence as if it never existed, which is not true. And the true identities of those people have not been taught. The fact is, if the real history and identities of the indigenous people of America were revealed, we would know that the homeland of millions of black Americans is actually here in the United States and not in Africa, as currently explained. It is time for everyone to comprehend that history was/is not totally honest in its interpretation of the facts of the indigenous people of the Americas, and that many blacks in the United States are the descendants of those indigenous Americans. Now, that was just the introduction. And all that meat that I just gave you, I mean, there's more meat in here. I'm going to create some more content as regard to reading chapters in this book, because I know it's hard for a lot of us to actually sit down and read. I know a lot of us don't have the time, but I would like to give you guys the oral story or the oral describing of this book. You know what I mean? I think that'll be cool. And I'm going to put some pictures up here. This is my first video actually putting pictures to audio and me not reading. You know what I mean? It's a different format, so it's not going to be great. It's not going to be the best, but please hang in there with me. I'm going to tweak some things. I'm going to learn some things. We all going to learn along the way. I just want to make my content better. I don't want to continue to give you guys, just a video of you looking at me and me reading something. I can do better than that because I got a phone. So I just have to learn as I go. Nobody's teaching me any of these things, any of this. I'm just learning as I go. Just like history, I'm learning as I go. I'm dismantling my idea of what history is that have been given to me in regards to who I am and my people is. And I just learned that I have to go seek it myself. I can't trust any outside sources to tell me who I am, where I come from, and where I hail from. And, you know, people lie. People have hidden agendas. People have reasons to lie to you. They have skin in the game. You know what I mean? They want to get over on you. You know, they don't want to be truthful. So I have to search this out myself, and I have to be honest with myself. And, you know, if it doesn't fit, doesn't fit. But if it does fit, then like like your boy said, like Johnny said, hey, if it does fit, then you must acquit. You must acquit the African American notion, which is a ridiculous misnomer if you break it down. I mean, a white person can be an African American, but I digress. Like I said, I'm going to do more content, more videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing my thing. Let me know I'm doing well. If you have any criticism, I like to hear it, because I can always be better and I can always do better. All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. God bless.